Bracken. The Bracken doesn't want to kill you. It wants to be alone with you. Only one Bracken spawns per facility. If you see those glowing eyes in the darkness, that's the only one. But that's enough. This thing hunts alone. The bestiary rates its intelligence as high, which means it learns your patterns. It stalks from the shadows, watching, waiting for the moment you stop paying attention. Here's where it gets psychological. Look at the Bracken too long and it attacks. Ignore it completely and it attacks. The only way to survive is a glance. Brief eye contact that says, I see you, without saying, I'm challenging you. It's the monster equivalent of not making eye contact with someone unstable on public transit. When a Bracken kills, it drags the body to its favorite room, always the spot furthest from the exit. Your corpse becomes bait. Your friends come looking. The Bracken is waiting. If you've ever found a teammate's body in a dead-end room and felt your stomach drop, you know exactly what this thing is designed to do. The Bracken kills you for looking too long. The next monster kills you for looking away. Coil-Head. The Coil-Head only moves when you're not looking. The problem is, there's always something else demanding your attention. A mannequin with a screaming face, head attached by a spring, frozen in place the moment you look at it. Look away, even for a second, and it's right there. Closer. Always closer. You cannot outrun it. You cannot kill it. You can only watch. This is SCP-173 for the co-op generation. But here's the genius. Lethal Company is multiplayer. One person watches, one person moves. Simple. Until the lights go out. Until the Jester starts winding. Until your friend gets grabbed by a Bracken and suddenly you're alone with the thing you can't stop looking at and the thing you can't keep looking at. If you've ever had to choose between watching a Coil-Head and saving a teammate, you understand why this game is secretly about sacrifice. The rapid footsteps that freeze the instant you spin around. The frozen scream somehow closer every time you check. Your eyes are the only thing keeping you alive. And eventually everyone blinks. The Bracken punishes staring. The Coil-Head punishes blinking. But the Jester? The Jester punishes everyone equally. Jester. When the music stops, everyone dies. That's not a threat. That's a game mechanic. The Jester looks almost cute. A jack-in-the-box with legs waddling through the facility. It follows you around. It doesn't attack. It just watches. And then the arm starts turning. The music starts playing. And you have about 30 seconds to evacuate or die. The bestiary gave up on this one. Quote, "There's no scientific record. We just call it the Jester." That's the game telling you you're on your own. This isn't a creature with weaknesses to exploit. This is a timer. When it pops, a skull erupts from the box and it knows where everyone is. It cannot be stunned. It cannot be slowed. It will not stop until everyone is outside or everyone is dead. If you've ever heard that music start and immediately typed "leave" in chat, you understand. The Jester punishes greed, that one more piece of scrap, that we have time mentality. The cheerful carnival tune getting faster, the crank turning, the half-second of silence before the skull emerges. Then the screaming starts, and it isn't coming from the Jester. When you hear the music, you run. There is no other strategy. The company doesn't pay extra for bravery. The Bracken, the Coil-Head, the Jester, these monsters hunt you through patience. They wait, they watch, they wind up. But the next two don't need patience. They've already found you. And they're exploiting the one thing you thought kept you safe. Your senses. Ghost Girl. She doesn't appear in the bestiary. She doesn't appear on the radar. She only appears to you. Imagine this. You're walking through the facility. Normal run. Your team's on comms, cracking jokes. And then you see her. A little girl in a red dress, standing in the hallway. Staring. You stop. You tell your team. They tell you there's nothing there. You look back. She's closer. Your flashlight flickers. Your friends think you're trolling. And here's the thing. She's not a hallucination. She's real. She just chose you. Only you can see her. Only you can hear the giggling. And unless she picks a different target next round, you will die. The Ghost Girl is the only monster in Lethal Company that can't be scanned. No data, no entry, no scientific name. Just a girl in red who picks one person and doesn't stop. She follows you inside. She follows you to the ship. There is no extraction from a haunting. The haunting phase is almost worse than the kill. She appears, disappears, appears closer. You can delay it by looking directly at her, but eventually she starts skipping towards you and then it's over. Your teammates asking what's wrong, while she stands right behind them, smiling. The Ghost Girl is the company's reminder you will die alone. And no one will believe you when you tell them why. The ghost girl hunts your mind. The next monster hunts your voice. Eyeless Dog. The eyeless dog hunts by sound. Your flashlight click, your footsteps, your friends screaming your name when they see one behind you. The clock hits 6 p.m. The company stops paying overtime, and the eyeless dogs wake up hungry. Completely blind, incredibly sensitive. They hear your footsteps. They hear your walkie-talkie click. They hear the boombox some idiot brought because they thought it would be funny. And they are fast. Faster than you, faster than your regret. The only survival strategy is silence. Crouch. Stop talking. Turn off your radio. Pray your teammates do the same. But here's the problem. This is a cooperative game. Communication is survival, and the eyeless dog weaponizes that. At the moment someone warns you about the dog is the moment the dog hears them warning you. If you've ever watched a friend die because you couldn't tell them to run, you understand why this monster is evil. Worse, these things can enter the ship, the one place you thought was safe. The lights go out, you hear breathing, and suddenly you realize that closing the door doesn't matter when the monster is already inside with you. The ghost girl breaks your mind. The eyeless dog breaks your silence. But the creatures in Act 3, they don't care if you see them coming. They don't need to hide. They're not hunting you. They're erasing you. And there's nothing you can do but run. Forest Keeper. The Forest Keeper doesn't chase you, it just walks. And somehow that's worse. Let me paint you a picture. You're hauling scrap back to the ship. Good run. Quota's almost met. Then the ground shakes. You look up and up and up. 50 feet of nightmare with a U-shaped head and shoulders like a building. It's not running. It doesn't need to. Every step it takes covers ground you'd need 10 seconds to cross. One Forest Keeper spawns per moon. One is enough. It sees you from across the map. It reaches down with a hand the size of a car. It picks you up. And then it eats you. Slowly. Deliberately while your teammates watch through binoculars because there's literally nothing else they can do. Every Lethal Company veteran has a Forest Keeper story. Most of them end with, and then it just ate him. The Forest Keeper cannot be killed. Flashbangs can blind it. Laser pointers can distract it. But nothing stops it permanently. Yet the only thing that can take down a Forest Keeper is an Earth Leviathan, which isn't a solution, it's trading one apocalypse for another. The Forest Keeper comes from above. The next monster comes from below, and you'll never see it until it's too late. Earth Leviathan. The Earth Leviathan is the largest creature in Lethal Company. You'll never see it coming, you'll only hear it. Scientific name, Hemibdella gigantus. Giant half-leech. But that doesn't capture what this thing is. It's a sandworm. It's tremors. It's the reason you don't stand still outside after dark. The Earth Leviathan burrows underground, invisible until it isn't. You'll feel the rumble in your controller before you hear it. Your screen goes grainy, that distinctive film grain effect that means something massive is about to surface. And you have maybe 2 seconds to realize you're standing on its dinner plate. Then it erupts. A mouth the size of a building consuming everything above it. There's no warning beyond the rumble. There's no survival if you're in the path. It kills Forest Keepers. It kills players. It kills anything stupid enough to be standing where it surfaces. The bestiary lists it at 2% danger because it's rare, but that's like saying a plane crash is low risk because you don't fly often. When this thing spawns, someone is dying. You don't fight the Earth Leviathan. You don't strategize around it. You hear the rumble and you sprint perpendicular to your current path and pray. The Forest Keeper and the Leviathan can't be fought. The Nutcracker can, but it shoots back. Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is the only enemy that shoots back, and it doesn't miss. On a wooden soldier doll, a shotgun, an eye that emerges from its mouth when it reloads. The Nutcracker is Lethal Company's answer to a question no one asked. What if the monsters had better weapons than you? This thing patrols with military precision. Gun raised, scanning for movement. Get in its sightline and it fires. The blast is instant. The damage is massive. And unlike every other monster in this game, the Nutcracker fights at range. You can't outrun a bullet, but here's the catch. The Nutcracker drops its shotgun when it dies. Real reward, real risk. To kill it, you need to hit it while the eye is exposed. That brief reload window where its mouth opens, and you can see the creature inside the doll. Time it wrong, and you're dead. Time it right, and you have the most powerful weapon in the game. Listen for wooden footsteps on metal floors. You know, when you hear the hammer cock, you're already in the crosshairs. The gamble, do you fight for the shotgun, or do you run like you should? Butler. The Butler is polite, professional, patient. Kill it, and you'll wish you hadn't. Added in version 50, the Butler is Lethal Company's lesson in restraint. It looks like a servant. Formal attire, calm demeanor. Knife held politely at its side. It follows you through the facility. It doesn't attack. It just accompanies you, like it's waiting for instructions. Most players panic. They see the knife, they see the following behavior, and they swing first. This is a mistake. The butler is passive until attacked. Leave it alone and it will leave you alone, eventually. But ignore it for too long and it'll stab you from behind when you're not looking. Attack it, and two things happen. First, it fights back with surprising violence. Second, and this is the important part, when it dies, it releases mask hornets, a swarm, everywhere, killing everything. The butler is the only monster in Lethal Company where aggression is the wrong choice. It rewards patience. It punishes violence. It's a trust exercise. Can you walk through a facility with a knife-wielding figure at your back without breaking? The butler punishes violence. The Maneater punishes something worse. Compassion. Maneater. The Maneater looks like a baby, sounds like a baby, and if you don't treat it like one, it stops being one. Version 60's newest horror. You find it crying in the facility, small, helpless, almost cute. You can pick it up, you can hold it, you can rock it to keep it calm. And if you don't, it grows, fast, into something that doesn't cry anymore, into something that hunts. The Maneater is the cruelest monster in Lethal Company because it exploits human instinct. You hear crying, you want to help. You see something small, you want to protect it. The game knows this. The game weaponizes this. Ignore the crying and you create a predator. Stop to help and you waste time you don't have, time the company doesn't pay you for. Once it transforms, there's no going back. The adult Maneater is fast, aggressive, and remembers that you're the one who didn't care, the one who walked past, the one who left it crying in the dark. The Maneater asks a question the company never wants you to consider. Is compassion a liability? In Lethal Company, the answer might be yes.